Good evening and welcome to Loughborough University for this international fixture for the British Army up against Malawi, who are ranked in the top 10 in the world. In fact, they are 7th in the world. This is going to be a tough fixture for the Inter-Services champions, but I'm sure that not only will they enjoy it, they will relish it. We can see the teams out there now. They're going to we're going to hear a few words from the General, but at the moment I think I'll just introduce the fact that John Knighton is going to do his netball commentating debut. John, thanks for joining us. We know you know a lot about Army sport, obviously, but you also know a little bit about Malawi as well. We'll hear about that later in the programme. But how exciting is this to see an international fixture?
Oh, Kath, I think this is an extraordinary evening. I mean, if you're an Army netball player, I mean, obviously there are some internationals in there. We know we've got some internationals in their side. Obviously with Dee Bolakaro, for example, who I know is heading off for Fiji to represent them very, very shortly. But for these Army players to have a crack at a team who are not only ranked number 7 in the world, but they're number 3 in Africa at the moment, and only behind South Africa, and I think the other team that they're behind is Uganda. It's a real opportunity for them, and it's a great opportunity for the Malawian players as well, who of course are preparing for this quad series that they're involved with. Yeah,
and that quad series is with England, Uganda and South Africa, so we do know that this is just a warm-up match for them. But you know, it was a match that came about, good engagement for the British military, and it says a lot that they think that the Army are fitting opposition before that quad series.
But it's great on so many levels because, as you say, WO2 Magic, who's the guy who's really been behind getting this fixture together tonight. I mean, he's taking a lot of the credit here, but there's a lot of important people come from the Malawi High Commission who are here tonight, including Dyson Banda, the Malawian High Commissioner for Tourism. He's the tourism attaché, and also Violet Chakrura, who's the investment attaché. They are here tonight representing their country, and they know how big this is and how important it is. There are actually 250 soldiers from Malawi in the British Army, which is something I didn't know about before tonight. So, you know, this is a big engagement issue as well tonight.
I've just spotted the Malawian kit. It's awesome as well. I don't know if you've got an opinion on that, but the green and the red, really good kit. And, yeah, they're all ready to go.
Representing the colours of Malawi, which is a country that I love very much indeed, because we have some sort of family connections there with actually the building of the British High Commission building back in the 1980s. And we had a holiday out there. It's a beautiful country. I mean, Lake Malawi itself is fantastic, and so you know, the people there are just beautiful. They're so gentle. It's a lovely country, and I hope that there's going to be a lot of people from Malawi who'll be watching their national team in action tonight.
Yeah, let's do tell us. Of course, we are live on the BFBS Forces News YouTube channel and on Facebook. So wherever you're watching, do let us know. Let us know who you're supporting. We'd love to hear from you wherever you are in the world. John, we'll talk a bit more about the teams, but General's sort of giving an introduction chat at the minute. I believe there are going to be national anthems, and then we'll have a bit more time to chat about the teams as a whole. But I believe hippos are quite rampant in Malawi. Is that correct?
There are some serious wild animals in Malawi, I can tell you. Yes. Yeah. But yeah, General Amison, who's the Chief Executive of Army Sport at the moment, is just doing his introductions, as you say, Kath. And I know, speaking to him earlier, how important this is for the British Army tonight, for Army Sport to be engaged like this in an international.
Just a bit of glory there, because General just turned to us right at the right time just to say thank you. And we do love bringing any kind of sport to you. We're trying to grow our programme this year, John, aren't we? And bring some new sports to the audience.
Yes, I am looking. I had actually a request from chess the other day, and
yes.
I'm not quite sure whether chess will make it into our coverage this year. But I know that our team tonight with Scott and Mark and Chris are very pleased to be actually working indoors in January.
Yes. After the game that these boys were at on Sunday in Portsmouth for Rugby League, let's say they did not come out dry from that one. But let's stop now and listen to the national anthems. There we go, the rousing rendition of God Save the King and also the Malawi national anthem. Now, as the players will just have a little bit of a warm-up before they go into this fixture, Julian Evans was with the Army women at the weekend, and he spoke to a few of them about what their fixture means to them, but also how it helps them in their preparation for the inter-services, which are, of course, in March. So let's have a look at that now.
When somebody said you're going to play in Malawi, did you say, are you mad?
Definitely, that was definitely the words that came out of our mouths. But hey, who says no to this kind of opportunity? So yeah, we're looking forward for it. This will prepare us for inter-services upcoming March.
So they're obviously a very, very good side up in the top 10 within the world, so it's a lot harder than our usual opposition. So it is an amazing opportunity, but I think it's going to be a very, very tough match. We're still practicing some combinations. We've got a few new girls into the team, so we're just trying to embed them a bit more into the team. So it's a really good opportunity to get some really tough opposition to practice our match play in preparation for the March inter-services.
If you were an outsider, who are the players that you play with that get you excited?
I think we've got many shooters this year, and we've only got about 3 defenders. But these defenders at the back, they're really strong. Between Chadder's D and Sally as a wing defender. Yeah, we're looking forward to it. But hey, the attackers are coming too.
Now the Army, as ever, raring to go for any competitive fixture that they take part in, and they will be taking this very, very seriously. And someone here who knows what it's like to be in these high-pressure situations and has enjoyed being an Army player for many years is Anna Mulderick. Anna, welcome to BFBS. She's sporting a BFBS sport badge, so she's already half got the job anyway. But Anna, these girls, they know that this isn't a win situation. This is just play your hearts out. How you've been part of the camp, you know, how are they feeling?
Hi Kath, thanks very much for having me. So yeah, the Army girls at the minute will be nervous, but they'll also be excited. This is a once in a lifetime opportunity for many of them to be standing shoulder to shoulder with international players and with the Malawi squad themselves. Their goal in this game, if you like, will most likely be to just showcase what level Army netball can play at.
Yes.
We're not looking to win, we're looking to
compete. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and just showcase what Army sport and Army netball is all about.
Well, look, as we talk about the girls and they're in shot there, we'll go through the Army lineup. The starting 7, starting from goalkeeper, is Catherine Chadwick. We've got Dee Bolokoro, her of Fiji, of course, and been reselected this year. She'll be playing at goal defence. Katie Hawkins in at wing defence. Sally Fisher, ever reliable in the middle there in centre. Rachel Rogers, one of the really fastest wings I think I've ever seen play at wing attack. And we've got a very reliable shooting circle of Millie Price at goal attack and Ellie Nawali, the captain, in at goal shooter. On the subs bench, we have Sam James, Hannah Hicks, Tamara Samuels, Amelia Finau and Chloe Merrion. And I mean, we talk about Ellie and Dee quite a lot, but they are our internationals and they continue, I mean, they're ageless to me because they continue to be absolutely exceptional and they will love this opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. Ellie and Dee are phenomenal in their own right. They bring it year on, year out, and you're right, they just do not age. If anything, they're like a fine wine, they only get better with age.
Get better, exactly.
And they also, it's not just what they bring to the court, but it's what they bring to the team itself.
Yep. As we will now go through the Malawi team, and I do apologise, I have been through these names with Magic, who very helpfully taught me through them, but I probably will make some mistakes. But they're all wonderful names. At goalkeeper, we have Shabelo Bengo. At goal defence, we have Tawela Vinkumbo. At wing defence, we have Martha Dambo. In the middle, in the centre, Tandy Galeta. At wing attack, we have Takwanda Lawazi. Goal attack, Ethel Nyambi. And goal shooter is Tendai Masamba. And on their subs bench, they have Joyce Muvula, who will come in a shooting position. Ruth Kulienda, also in a shooting position. Toko Makonyanya at wing defence, and Grace Mwafoliwa, I definitely said that one wrong, at goal defence. My understanding, Anna, is that this Malawi team, although they're ranked 7th in the world, they're in a building phase. There's probably a lot of new faces out there, but they are still 7th in the world, and they're about to go into a quad series against England, Uganda and South Africa. So this is by no means a minor team, is it?
Absolutely not, and by no means are they going to let Army have
free
anything
run of
at
it.
all. And the thing is with Malawi, they have a different style of netball to what we see with the Australians, the New Zealand, the England team, which is what makes them just that little bit different, and they have a certain flair about them, which is exciting to watch.
Can you be more particular about that? I mean, flair's one thing, but is it different tactics? They've just been brought up in a different netball?
Yeah, I think it's partly being brought up in that different netball. I think just something about their team cohesion and culture, which is just really, really lovely to see. And you can see it just meeting the girls face to face, which was an honour to do, by the way. And they just have this fast, furious sort of flair to their game, which is different to what you see. Obviously, the New Zealand and England team are fast and furious too, but I can't quite put my finger on what I would call it.
Do you think it's in similarities to where the Fiji play, perhaps? That sort of...
Perhaps, yeah. I think it's just the connection that they have with each other in their units as a team, as individuals, that is really special.
I love their outfits too. I just want to say that.
They do look brilliant.
Not that any of them would fit me, but we've also got a lot of height in that Malawi team. I know the Army team does as well, but somehow when it's the opposition, they look slightly more menacing.
They do indeed. And we were laughing earlier because I said, sometimes, when you watch on TV, you watch the wing attacks and you think, oh, they don't look that tall. You see them in person and I'm like, yeah, she's still like 5'8" at least. And they're not quite so small in person.
Wow. Well, they're a very fit bunch of girls, we know that, and they're just being reintroduced. We've obviously given you the team lineups, but they're being reintroduced to the crowd here as, Catherine Chadwick there. I mean, I talked earlier about what I loved about netball, and I talked about long limbs. Catherine Chadwick personifies that. You think no one can get that ball, and yet she is somehow there. And the tallest on the team, as we can see from there. But Inspector Gadget, I think I gave her that nickname at the inter-services.
I think sometimes even Chadda's arms surprise her herself, and she gets balls that she isn't expecting to get. But you're right, those arms are relentless.
Yeah, so the Malawians fittingly named Queens, which is a nice... Do the Army Netball, do they have a nickname, or are they just Army Netball?
Good question, actually.
Yeah, you should know, Anna.
Yeah, I know. We should have a nickname, right? Maybe I'll get back to you on that one.
So, Anna, just just away from the women for a second, because we're going to focus on them, obviously, for the next hour. You do coach the Masters and the men's side, so that's the men's netball is definitely coming on leaps and bounds, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. It's really exciting, and I've only just brand new to the role this season, having only recently left the Army in November, now employed to coach, which is brilliant. The Army men are really coming on, and it's
brilliant.
Exciting heading towards nationals in August.
Yeah, it's good to see as we get underway here at Loughborough. British Army up against Malawi. First centre pass to the visitors, to Malawi, and it all starts here, Anna. Anna's here to call out some Army ball already. That's a good start.
That was a really strong defensive effort there. I mean, straight from the off, it was all Army ball side there. Very well drilled. And hopefully they can now reward that turnover with a conversion.
Dee Bolokoro there into Fisher. Dee's still got the ball. And we'll feed it in. Oh, that's tight. I mean, there is an element, as we see Millie Price just missed
those
that there,
overs are not going to go against this side.
I mean, that first couple of minutes of any game, they'll be feeling out. And I just wonder if Malawi, they only arrived yesterday. They haven't had a lot of time on court apart from a training session this morning. So there will be that first couple of minutes where you're sort of feeling each other out. So at the moment, it looks pretty even.
Yeah, absolutely. And certainly for the Army girls, there'll be a lot of nerves out there in these first couple of minutes.
Yeah, because they want to prove themselves.
Another loose ball there for Army team.
So Chadwick then with the ball in. And another ball to the Army. And they're definitely making the most
Good
of it at
space
the
there from
moment.
Sally Fisher.
Yeah, they've got to be patient, have they? I mean, there is that danger as well with a team like Malawi. If
Yeah.
you're feeling the nerves, you try and be a bit too flair and match their flair, but
Yeah.
actually just rely on what you're good at and what you've what's worked for you in the past. Ooh,
Oh,
great
lovely.
take from Millie Price. Up against the defence, so Millie will get another go. Oh, bit of nerves there.
Yeah,
She's
definitely.
normally very reliable.
Okay.
Malawi using the long ball very
Yeah,
well there.
Working those triangles on the edge of the circle.
So Malawi have the first chance of the first goal, and it goes to the visitors.
I think we're going to see quite a battle between the wing attack and wing defence here.
Yeah, already.
Already, yeah.
So that is that's Katie Hawkins.
No, it's Rachel Rogers in a
Oh,
wing
sorry.
attack
Okay.
for the Army.
Wing attack for the Army. Rachel Rogers against Martha Dambo from Malawi. And just as they said that, they tussled at the centre pass there.
What Dambu's
lovely.
doing phenomenally well is she is constantly maintaining that ball side, so she's not allowing Rachel any of those front opportunities. So we'll have to see how Rachel reacts to that pressure now.
Lovely high ball. That's another score for Malawi. And that was on an Army centre pass, so they already have the advantage in this first quarter. Tandy Galeta there in the centre.
Lovely use of the triangles again on the edge of the circle. Just quick, easy 1-2 balls and in.
Tendai Masamba is the goal shooter who so far has excelled. 3-0 then to Malawi.
Really shutting down that centre pass there for the Army. And they find Rachel in the space.
Just not giving any options.
That's it. Good, keep working it.
And even that, Anna, having to come back to the middle third, even though they won the penalty in the end. But
it's good that they're being patient with the ball rather than forcing those shots in. And Noelle just puts it up nicely there for the Army team.
playing a captain's innings there, Ellie. Gets the Army on the scoreboard, 3-1, 1-3. Lovely space.
This as well is where Dee really comes into her own, having got that international experience.
Yes.
However, several caps for Team Fiji. The team will really rely on her experience and support throughout this game.
And of course, Dee can come in and shoot if need be.
Absolutely.
Not that she's needed, but we've got two brilliant shooters there already. But she's one of those players that has all positions next to her name. Oh, great interception. Yeah, so they're forcing, Malawi are forcing the Army to come back and use the behind option and then taking advantage of that. So I would say those very initial nerves have gone.
Oh, good quick take of the penalty there.
Lovely, Ellie giving herself time. 2-4 then, the Army against Malawi here. Takwanda Lawazi there on the edge of the circle, proving very handy.
Yeah,
at
for
wing
me,
attack.
she is that the key playmaker in the attack there for Malawi, and we really need to start looking at how we shut down and apply a bit more pressure onto her, because she's feeding it straight in.
Katie Hawkins is quite a new face. She's a private, so presumably pretty new into this Army setup, and she's got that task of playing Takwanda Lawazi, and that's going to be quite a task.
Yeah, she has indeed, and she is fairly new to Army netball, but she has made leaps and bounds as a player. She's developed very quickly. She's just like a sponge.
She's brilliant.
But this is a big ask
Yes.
for her today.
Yeah, again, Malawi using the long ball a lot, seeing the space. Masamba in again for a 2-6 lead.
And for the Army there as well, it's the strength of that hold that goal shooter has that we just don't
Yes.
come up against anywhere else.
And you can see her using it all round
Yeah.
the circle. Malawi in again for their 7th. Fisher then to Price. Rachel Rogers, Ellie Nawali coming out of the circle. You see that quite a lot, don't you? Ellie coming out and Millie staying in. So swapping the goal
Yeah,
shooter,
it's
goal
almost like
attack
a
role.
positional switch once the ball comes into that that third, which they do use as a tactic quite often.
Yeah.
But the Malawi defence are really flooding that central channel to try and force the Army team to have to go out high
Yeah.
and wide or back.
Yeah. And we talked a lot about this lovely ball there from Ellie.
She is not feeling the pressure at all, is she?
I think she's just super laid back. We talked a lot in the inter-services about netball being a no-contact sport, and then you see the 2 Ds, how they're playing at the defensive end and the attacking end, and you see that it's not no contact at all, is it? Especially
No.
off the ball.
And again, this level of physicality, it's not necessarily that the girls don't play at it. It's often when we're playing in training fixtures and whatever, the umpires are still pulling for things, whereas at this level, these umpires will not pull those contacts because they are they see that it's a contesting
And
rather
it's a
than
50-50
because
rather than
they're much higher, they're internationally trained umpires,
Yes,
which
they're-
again is brilliant for the Army to experience that level of umpiring.
Registered England umpires, aren't they? So I've been told that, oh, great.
Lovely space, Millie.
And lovely strength there
Oh,
showing.
come on. She'll be beating herself up now.
She will.
She needs to get out of her own head a little bit and just take a breath.
But I love the fact that Malawi are always looking for that really long option because they know that in that goal circle, Masamba will take anything.
Chadders is trying to contest for that one a little bit more now. And she's a workhorse as well. She will keep trying and
Yes.
adapting her game until she figures out what works.
Ethel Nyambi, goal attack for Malawi, scoring that last one, but Masamba straight in again. And they have reached 10. So 3 to the Army, 10 to Malawi.
Reset, yes, good option, Millie. You see again just that sea of the Malawi dress. As a ball carrier, that just puts you under so much pressure to release that ball.
They really are using the whole court.
Yeah.
And like you say, forcing the Army down a very slim channel.
Yeah.
3-11 then, Malawi in the lead.
That's what the defence did there, which was very smart, is actually they've done a positional switch where Dee's gone back and covered that shooter because she's got the elevation and probably a bit more of the physicality to contest for that ball over Chadders.
Because she's obviously getting those long balls.
Yeah.
And it didn't work out for the Army then, but at least she contested for it.
It was a hell of a lot closer, and actually you start to put a little bit of doubt in the feeder's mind once you start changing things up a little bit.
Malawi then, Shobela Bengo, goalkeeper with ball on the side, but goes to Army.
I think that was an incorrect sideline.
Yeah.
Which is a bit of a rookie error from the
very schoolgirl
from the international.
Done at every level,
side.
believe me.
Equally, I am in no position to have any criticism whatsoever of this side.
You're so keen to take it, aren't you?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, it's like 2 inches.
Great
Mwale.
shooting.
She's got her eye in. That's good to know.
And this is not a bad scoreline at all, really, for the Army side.
No, I don't even know if we should be looking at the scoreline. You know, let's just enjoy the play.
Right,
I mean, I will
absolutely.
call out the score. Obviously, that's part of my job. But as Uganda put another one in for a 4-13 lead here in the first quarter. And
we'll see how they've just shut that first phase down. But Millie does well to find the space. But unfortunately,
I think that looked a little bit like a case of Millie trying to do what Malawi are doing. And you can't, I'm not criticising, I'm just saying you've got to play your own game. Yes, you've got to play your own game. Masamba again. turning out to be Miss Reliable there in the goal. And it is 14-4.
See, now they've doubled on that goal shooter with I think Dee just switched back onto the goal attack a little bit too soon, which opened up the goal shooter in the backspace again.
They're just so strong on the rebound as well.
Yeah. Be interesting to see if at quarter time Army do decide to actually move Bolakori back into goalkeeper.
Okay.
But Chadders is now doing a good job trying to keep goal shooter high.
Oh, lovely.
Oh, well done, Chadders.
That was brilliant.
Great effort there. Like I said, she's a workhorse and she's relentless.
She'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, the communication between Chadders and Dee is brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, they've been a solid unit now for the Army for many years.
Dee again. Oh, could have
That
had
was
that.
really, really good, strong defensive from the whole unit, centre and wing defence included there, to just apply that pressure and delay that ball actually getting to a shooting opportunity. That's the one they need to shut down a little bit
they really
sooner.
do, because it shouldn't get there, should it? But
No,
they're
that's
quick
not
on the
what you wanna
centre
see.
pass, and
That's where I think
to be,
Bolakori just needs to be a little bit quicker on that drop. If she's going to drop back onto that goal shooter, it needs to be quick to shut that first option down.
and also Malawi won't be able to do that potentially against top sides like England, will she?
No, absolutely.
But you know, play the game to the one you're playing, I guess.
No, a little bit of attack there from the Army was unfortunate. They needed to revert back to using those triangles, just keep playing it top and side, off and on the circle edge till something opens up.
Chadders within fingertips of that one. And of course in netball, because there will be changes, they'll bring on subs, but the brilliance is you can go on and off quite a lot, can't you? Is there any limit to how many times people can go on and off in netball?
No, and now we've got rolling subs.
Yeah.
So you can pull off the centre or wing, whoever, for 2 minutes, have a chat to them as the coach, and then put them back into the game.
Yeah.
I think it's something that we're not yet very good at using.
Okay.
Because actually, if you use it quite smartly, just for playing at this level, the girls will be really pushing their bodies physically to the limit. So if I would be thinking, actually, maybe I'll just pull her off for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Give her a 2 minutes breather. Talk to
Headspace
her.
as well.
Headspace.
Yeah.
Right, go back in and execute what I've just told you.
Yeah.
Oh, well done, Millie. Good front position.
Yeah, there's
Again.
just not a lot of space, is there?
No. Again, look at the wing attack, wing defence. She is completely shutting down that option.
And she's all arms as well. Yeah.
But Rachel's doing well to find her space when she
Oh,
does.
Ellie.
Her call. Well done, Ellie. And 5 on the scoreboard for Army now. That's brilliant.
Yeah, so Malawi certainly showing their class, but it's only 15 minutes in. We are just a minute away from the first quarter.
Smart work there from Rachel Rogers at wing attack, just setting up a screen to allow Millie to come through for the first phase centre pass.
And Dee forever there in support. Oh, a good space. I feel like there was a little lack of confidence from Millie there, because it's probably a shot she could have made. She passed it off to Ellie.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think she's managed to put a ball through the net yet this quarter, which as a shooter, it's going to get into your head. But her play is still, she's still playing a very good game outside of the circle. And actually, the fact that Army are getting so many shooting opportunities that close to the post is brilliant.
Bit of footwork by Malawi. Fancy footwork, but ultimately too many steps. Dee then to Fisher. Oh, that was, well seen.
She's probably trying to get the ball to goal, shooting opportunity.
Yeah, as quick
there,
as possible. Yes. So end of the first quarter, the Army with 5 on the board, Malawi with 23. And just quickly, Anna, just a quick summation of that first quarter. Like we say, the scoreboard is slightly irrelevant, and we kind of knew it would probably be a big gap, but I do think the Army can play better. I think they need, they could play with more confidence. What's your take on that first 15 minutes?
Yeah, I agree. I think, though, however, the Army should be proud of themselves from that first quarter, because when I spoke about goals earlier, one of the key goals would have actually been to watch this game now. I don't think, oh God, this is a bit embarrassing. We're getting our asses handed
Not
to
at all,
us.
no.
Actually, it's a competitive game of netball to watch, and it's good netball to watch, and that is brilliant. And like you said, regardless of the scoreline, they are performing well.
Yeah.
Can they perform better? Yes, absolutely.
And they know that.
Yeah.
Well, listen, Anna, we'll be back in a couple of minutes. We're just going to take a quick break, and do join us again here live in Loughborough for the second quarter of British Army against Malawi.
We're approaching one of Ukraine's defensive lines. Hidden in this woodland is one of the brigade's most precious weapons, a British Challenger 2 tank.
This is vital training to ensure they can deploy these battle-changing assets effectively.
It was homecoming time for their loved ones on board HMS Duncan.
So glad to be home.
Welcome back to Loughborough. We're at the university here on campus to see the British Army up against Malawi. A reminder that it is 5 to the Army, 23 to Malawi. But these Queens, as they call themselves, are 7th in the world, Anna, and there's no denying that they are showing some class at the minute. We're going to see some changes at the moment. I think we can see that Tamara Samuels has come on in the shooting circle at goal attack. Is that right?
Yeah. So, and Tamara Samuels is this is her first season at Army Netball.
What a fixture.
So I spotted her at our inter-course as this brilliant new goal attack that was coming into the Army Netball, and she's now well and truly embedded herself in the Army setup, and you will see some flair from this girl.
Wow. Yeah, so is she sort of in the mould of like Ellie Nwali, in that kind of mould of just like got that extra level?
Yeah, 100%, I think. I've not seen her play for quite a while, so I'm very excited to see what she can go out and do on court today.
And I'm guessing if Millie's going off there, like you said, possibly needs a bit of a confidence boost and needs to sort of like chat to her coaches and stuff like that. But there's very likely that that she'll come back on at some point. But it'd be nice to see Tammy for her first ever. Well, her debut?
Yeah, I think it probably is, really.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm disappointed for Millie, because she'll be disappointed in herself in that performance, and probably over-analysing a little bit. She doesn't need to over-analyse. Her movement was good. She was playing well. She was finding space. She just needs to take a breath, execute the shot at the end.
Yeah, I certainly, if it comes across as criticism, it's purely as what we think is going through their heads at the moment. But as far as the lineup goes, it is pretty much the same, apart from Tammy coming on at goal attack, and we'll see how she works with Ellie Nwali, the captain, there in the centre circle. And of course, they do change ends every quarter, so we have the Army shooting right to left, and Malawi shooting left to right, and it is an Army centre pass. Sally Fisher steps in, and we're off with quarter two.
That was a lovely, unlucky there, Rachel.
Foot out, oh dear.
You could see her doing her prelim moves before the whistle had even gone there, and she got out strong, but unfortunately...
Oh, Dee's there.
However, Dee comes back with a brilliant interception.
Wonderful scenes, yeah.
Just see all of the Army red team now, all in that middle channel. Good decision to go back and reset. They need to get some width here, really.
Great, well seen.
Or not. Sally Fisher finds Tamara at the back there.
Well,
I'll eat my words on that one.
Yeah, well, the thing is, she just spotted the space, and Sally spotted her, and
great vision.
There we are.
From Sally.
Another goal for the Army, and they also get the ball. So Fisher then to Rogers. Ellie fights for it.
There. Good use of the centre there. Oh, just a misplacement of the ball there from Sally Fisher into Tamara. We really needed to reset that option there, and it just, when you reset, it just opens up the court again, and it allows people to reposition. It gets the defenders' heads turning, and then we just work those triangles until something opens up.
And I think in terms of Malawi, I think Musamba's still in there at goal shooter, but potentially their goal attack has changed, I think. Yeah. So that could be Ruth Kulienda, who's come on as goal attack. So that's what she's down as a subs, but I stand correct. Oh, I stand to be corrected, I'm sure. Rogers then.
Reset. Now let's get someone back on circle edge.
Oh. Potentially not the right decision, but I can see what she's trying to do.
But again, we had no width on this side of the court that we're on. Everybody was sort of crammed over into that far side of the court.
And even at this level, there's that need to go forward, isn't there? Some Samba spots another one in for Malawi.
And what the Malawi defence do very well is you put yourself in a position, i.e. not ball side, and they will keep you there. Oh, brilliant take.
Ooh. I think that's Army ball, isn't it? Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I thought it came off.
No, it did come off our wing defence.
Yeah, some flair definitely shown there, and I love the splits that Musamba has as well in the circle.
I think when you watch Malawi play, it fills you with joy. Like,
I love it. Yeah,
it just makes me smile because I feel like they just love every moment of being on that court. Okay, now we're getting stuck. See what I mean? We're getting stuck all down that one channel, and we've got to open it up.
And it's amazing how much Malawi are dictating that.
Okay, Rachel needs to get top now. Ellie's going to have a go at the shot anyway, but that...
Yeah, so they need to be thinking off the ball. It's not just about cutting for the ball when they're needed. They need to be thinking about positioning when they're off the ball as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Offering
ball side. Well done.
Well done, Chadders.
Yeah.
Oh, and yes,
they have swapped.
They
right,
have made that positional switch, which I think was the right decision.
Yes. You can see on Dee's face the frustration when she misses a potential interception, but that's just the quality of that player. Now, Anna, you were a midfield player, is that right?
Mid-court, yes.
Mid-court, sorry, yeah, midfield.
Yeah.
Mid-court. How difficult is it to get that perfect centre pass? Because it should be the easiest thing in the world, isn't it? You've got 4 options, and yet you play a side like Malawi, and you see how difficult those options are to close down, aren't they?
Yeah, it is difficult, especially when you do come up against that defence that are so tightly drilled that they will just shut down those options. And almost create a wall of defenders. As a wing attack, I love the challenge of getting out and beating, especially when I've got a 2-on-1 to try and beat those defenders and still be that option. I'm not saying I'd be able to do this now, by the way.
But in your prime, you could.
Maybe. But I find it more stressful as a centre because you have less control of the options.
And so then you get that panic sets in, doesn't it? When
and you've really got to trust your team then, and also you need that communication between the goal attacks and wing attacks, so that they know who's going to be providing the first option, the third, second option, who's going to be coming up from defence, and they will have set plays that they know certain positions where you stand on the court will trigger a certain set play to be happening.
So Malawi 29-6 up, and Musamba has the ball again, and we'll slot it in for 30 goals to the Army's 6, but these girls in red will continue.
Well taken by Tamara there.
To fight.
Now we need a front option.
Oh, they're just shutting them down.
It's tough as well.
It's so physical, isn't it?
And mentally, it does start to.
Lovely, lovely, well seen.
Space from Tamara as well. I mean, she has come on, although she's missed that shot there.
But the communication between her and Fisher was just. Was almost telepathic.
I think she's given the defence something different to think about as well, which at this level, again, it's impressive to be able to do that up against the Malawi defence. You see, Dee, the brilliant player that she is, she does get distracted by the ball sometimes, and she wants to go and hunt as she did then, but left her goal shooter
Needs
with
to be on
far
the
too
player.
much space. Yeah.
I think sometimes the likes of Dee and Ellie, and I've said this before, is they sort of feel like the responsibility falls on them as that sort of international players and stalwarts of Army netball. You're sort of like, you can't do everything.
See, she's wanting to pick up a few
There you
more
go.
balls, although she gets a great rebound there.
Well fought.
And you're right, they do take on that extra, almost burden, if you like, but both Ellie and Dee have very broad shoulders and are more than capable of taking on those additional responsibilities.
I suppose the danger for the Army is if they play too safe, they're just gifting it. Oh, lovely from Shadows. Oh, I don't know if I'm allowed to use nicknames, so lovely from Chadwick. But it is Malawi ball. Masamba again with another opportunity. She's practically in the goal. She's so tall.
That was the umpire advanced that penalty there against Dee Bolokaro for the contact. I'm not sure exactly why she advanced it, whether it was deliberate. She deemed it as deliberate. I'm not sure, but she does need to be slightly careful of that.
Can it be chat back if she says something? Can they advance it for that, or is it just for their actions?
No, it wouldn't have been. They can advance it, but that wouldn't have been what the problem was. Not from a player like Dee.
She's too aware of.
Yeah, it was a bad contact as well, but not deliberate. So I'm not sure why, but she does need to be careful because they've gotten rid of warnings now.
Okay.
So
I see. It's just straight to
penalty advance, then to a caution, and then it would be off. So if she gets a caution now, which hopefully she's learnt her lesson and that won't be the case, but they probably need to start thinking about switching her off. Unfortunately, we certainly don't need that.
No, dangerous.
And that's why we don't need that.
There we go. Chloe Merrian's come on in the middle, in centre there for Fisher. So that's been a very quick change.
And again, you would
Hellball,
goal defence, wing defence, all down that one channel. You needed, which our goal attack did do in the end, but a little bit too late.
Yeah.
To come through and open up that court. But actually, that's what we need our centre to be doing, or our wing attack.
Yeah. Dee, great on the rebound. Yes, and she's got it.
Well played, Dee.
To Chadwick.
And they are really starting to hunt now, these defenders.
This is good. This is a good sign.
We need to be
heads are back up, I would say.
Forward up. Good challenge there. Take on the defenders. Take them on. Good, Chloe.
Sally Fisher's come into wing defence. I'm not seeing these changes happen. They're happening so quickly. This rolling
Bit of a weak
subs.
pass there from her, but right idea. Nice. Sally Fisher does make an excellent defender.
Yeah, she's more of a centre, obviously, but some people are wing attack centres, some are wing defence centres, aren't they?
Yeah, no, she is definitely a centre wing defence.
And she's got those long limbs as well.
Square. Now we need a square option. Well done, Sally. Good. Find in the middle there, Chloe, and great little pocket ball. Use the top again.
Oh, unlucky.
See, in that case, we just need a quick swing ball back to the top where Chloe was, just to turn the defenders' heads.
They're such hard passes as well. They're sort of bullet passes, aren't they? But that's the level we're at.
And they need to be first, second, or third, second. And when we start hesitating and delaying and passing in this middle, that's when the defenders have time to think and start challenging those balls.
So, 8 goals to the Army.
Right.
36 to Malawi.
Now we're getting a bit more of the width and can you see now that it's coming through the middle, then we're getting width and then we're getting depth. So we're balancing the court out a little bit better now, which is good to see. And that's the injection of Chloe there at centre has enabled that a little bit, and also Sally moving out to wing defence.
And the likes of Shelley will have made those decisions based on what you say, you're saying the Army needed, which was more space, and so they would have switched Chloe in because she gives that to the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not a lot you can do about Tendai Masamba, unfortunately, for
and it is
the Army.
Tough on our defenders as well.
Yeah, I play in goal defence, goalkeeper, despite my height. And it can be demoralising when you have an attacker like that who is just so slick.
And it feels like there's nothing you can
You
do.
do. Yeah, and often there isn't.
You've got to just keep being relentless, keep your head up and keep trying new things.
Malawi then 7th in the world, currently 39 points, about to score their 40th here, 40 goals to 8, and they go on to face England, Uganda and South Africa in a quad series.
That was a lucky pass to have made it there. Now we need a square option from Sally. Good. Tamara through the middle.
Chloe giving that short
now
option.
We need a ball side.
Army ball then on.
Well
She's
taken,
got such
Tamara.
good reach, Tamara.
She is a beautiful player.
She really
well
does.
Played. Now I think here our defensive unit, I mean I do feel for them out there, but they've got to mix it up a little bit, do something different. We've had the same setup defensively for 3 or 4 now. And they're hitting circle edge a little bit too easy, which is then putting our goalkeeper, goal defence under a lot more pressure.
Yeah, I mean, Samba really using her body there, which, at this level is perfectly acceptable. And it's, 50-50 when it comes to how much the defence use it as well. But yeah, Chloe Marion really providing, the go-to passes, the 1-2s. And that was unfortunate.
Yeah. She has been a pair of safe hands out there a bit as well, with those decisions to send it back and not force it going forwards.
I always thought that the role of the centre was to almost be the second pass every time. Like if you're working zigzag. I know it's not that, but sometimes you need those moves where they're just everywhere.
Yeah, I mean,
probably at a level I don't play at. It's not like that at all.
As a centre, that's my pet hate, is a centre that thinks that she needs every other ball. You're as a centre, you're actually a supporting player, I see them. Your job is to get the width, let the attack do their jobs, let the defence do their jobs. And then you come in as and when you're needed, and you're in and out, and you're creating space for others, and you're controlling the game from that point of view.
I stand corrected. No, I like to learn. It's good. Thankfully, I don't have the legs to play centre anymore. So we are 1 minute 30 away from half time.
Oh.
It is 43.
See, this is what I
so
just said I was hoping wouldn't happen. So that's
a warning?
I believe. No, so the warning was the advancement.
Right.
So Dee's now just received, I believe, a caution.
Okay. And if she gets another one?
If she gets another one, she'll be off for 2 minutes.
Okay.
So as a coach here, Shelley will probably be thinking, do I need even just to give her 2 minutes? Well, there's only 1 minute left here, so
yeah.
That's going to be a tough decision for Shelley to make now as to what she does about that, because we cannot afford to have Dee off the court, really. Right.
And Dee that'll be through sheer frustration, I'm sure.
Yeah, Dee will be frustrated with whatever it is she's doing that's caused that, because she's trying to win ball as best she can.
Yeah. She's great on the rebound.
But it will affect her game as well, because she's now very conscious of not wanting to.
Yeah, of course.
To put herself in a position where she might be pulled for something again.
It's that responsibility again that she feels on her shoulders. As Malawi put in another long pass. And Masamba in with the rebound. It's great to see a lot of Malawi support here as well.
Yeah, it is actually, surprisingly so. There's a number of
Malawian, I think.
Malawians?
Soldiers in the army?
Yeah, so we do have soldiers as well. We've got a warrant officer from the RLC here that's hosting the individuals that have come over from the embassy from London, which is great.
I think that's magic, and he has really pushed this match. Now, we've reached half-time. It is 9 goals to the army at 47 to Malawi. Anna, we're going to say goodbye to you because we've got another guest coming in. Oh, she's staying. She's still okay. She's happy to stay. So we've got Anna for the full game. Lucky us. Any Mulderic fans out there, do let us know if you're watching. But
my mum and dad.
Okay, that's fine. The same as me. Yeah, my mum and dad. That's it. So yeah, we're half time again. would you have expected the Army to have a few more goals at this point, or is this sort of par for the course what you were expecting?
I mean, in terms of the score, there was no expectations really. I think they might be a little bit disappointed with the performance in that second quarter because it wasn't quite as strong as the first quarter. But equally, Malawi are just going from strength to strength to strength. So they shouldn't be too disheartened. They still put 3 goals in the net and provided plenty of shooting opportunities. I mean, Tamara's come on there and she's really questioned what forced the defence to question what they're doing a little bit, and they've had to adapt. She's found some great space in the circle, and they've started. It's just now executing that feed to her, which is the difficulty.
Okay, so we are going to take a little break here now on BFBS, and do join us again in a few minutes. We'll be back for the second half of this British Army up against Malawi. Anna's going to stay with us, but we are going to get a little guest appearance from John in a couple of minutes, just so he can tell us about his Malawi holiday. He's dying to tell us all about it, so we'll listen to that. But yeah, we'll see you in a couple of minutes. Thank you, Anna.
We're approaching one of Ukraine's defensive lines. Hidden in this woodland is one of the brigade's most precious weapons, a British Challenger 2 tank.
There are things you need to know about the Arctic.
We have to recognise that there are countries that actively wish us harm.
This is vital training to ensure they can deploy these battle-changing assets effectively.
Clinicians here in Ukraine, however, have found ketamine-assisted psychotherapy to be hugely effective.
It's a once-in-a-career opportunity, isn't it? Not everyone can say that they've guarded Buckingham Palace or Tower of London.
Been doing reconnaissance, beach recce's, working out our entrance route in. I love it down there.
We'll be dotting around the country, going to air shows, meeting the public, and hopefully inspiring people like I was inspired as a 5-year-old.
It was homecoming time for their loved ones on board HMS Duncan, and they were here to see them safely into port.
So glad to be home.
The header is in the net. That's a goal. Towards the back post, and he's headed across the goal and in. Takes it, shot, and it's a good save. And the follow-up. Chance for the Army to finish it off, and he has done. Takes it, scores. Header goes in, and into the back of the net. It's a goal, John.
John's here for a couple of minutes. Anna's going to join us again for the live, but John, you want to talk a little bit about recruitment and how events like this really help with that?
Well, I was really thinking about the recruitment of the Malawi players, because just talking earlier on to Dyson Banda, who is the tourism attaché here in the United Kingdom for Malawi, they've always had a bit of a problem because Malawi obviously is a very young country. The average age is it's a very, very young country, and finding the right players of the right height has been actually very difficult for them.
Oh,
so
really?
They've had to go out to the rural areas away from the cities to find. I mean, there are some tall players. I mean,
yes.
you were talking about the heights of the players towards the end of that second period there, and they've actually spread far and wide in their recruitment process into the schools and colleges away from the major cities like Lilongwe and Blantyre, and it's clearly proving to be very successful for them. They are in a rebuilding phase at the moment in the Malawi national team, and bear in mind, Kath, that this sport it's the #1 sport in Malawi for females.
Okay.
And they are desperate to get back from being third ranked in Africa to first ranked in Africa. And there's a bit of a pressure, obviously, with South Africa being #1, and the #2 is Uganda at the moment, who overtook them. But if you look back at their record, they've been in 6 World Cups. Their best performance was 2007, when they actually finished 5th, which is their best ever ranking. And they want to get back to that. They're desperate. I mean, the sport is in the national blood, and you can see here tonight there's huge support for them as well. And we've been getting a lot of messages that have been coming through from people who are watching back home.
It's brilliant to see.
Most of which we can't understand because it's not
but
in
that's
English.
Fine, as long as we're getting the audience, John.
But I think this sport and what makes this so brilliant for the British Army to be able to play a match like this is the experience that the younger players in the Army team are getting from this is absolutely immeasurable. And I'd imagine that there's quite a few Royal Navy and RAF players who are watching on tonight with very envious eyes, because this is incredible preparation for them for the inter-services, which is not too far away.
John, thank you so much, and thank you so much for your gen on... John managed to scoop that up in the first 10 minutes, whereas I've been concentrating on this week and haven't done that at all. So really good information. It reminds me of, we actually have a tall and talented programme in the UK, and Sarah Bonner, who plays rugby for Scotland, was found through that. It tries to pair people who are tall and talented in a sport that they found, and she's found the sport that she loves. She tried rowing, she tried a lot of things. But I tell you what, Anna's going to come back in place of John for the second half of this game, British Army up against Malawi. Thank you very much, John Knighton. I'm bringing back in Anna Mulderig as the Army face an uphill battle here at Loughborough. They are 9 goals to 47, but of course a quick reminder that Malawi are 7th in the world, and as John said, have been a really well-established side for many years. And a long way for the Army to go, but they just need to keep their heads up, Anna.
Absolutely. The score is what it is at this point. They need to enjoy this experience, enjoy the moment, recognise the fact that they're playing 7th in the world, Team Malawi. And just enjoy their netball now. And let's not forget that Malawi, they are incredibly clinical out there in everything that they do, from attack to defence. And it's what greater preparation can the Army ask for ahead of inter-services?
Absolutely. And John was just saying, there'll be a lot of potentially RAF and Navy players watching who probably with a little bit of envy, because who wouldn't relish an opportunity to play a team like Malawi?
I'm envious.
There you go. We've got one of them right here. I mean, I'm envious, but mostly of the ability of all these players rather than anything else. But
and interestingly, the Army have switched Millie Price's back on, but in the wing attack position.
Okay.
Like I said, her movement was very good, so maybe that's the thought process there.
Yes.
Rachel was having a real battle with that wing defence.
Yeah, sometimes you just need a break.
Yeah,
to sort of calm down a bit.
I would definitely need a break. But physically, that amount of physicality on your body, you can't prepare for it, because it's when you play this level day in, day out like the Malawi team do, your body expects it. When you don't, it's a bit of a shock.
Absolutely.
And it just takes it out of you, physically and mentally.
That was a sign that Malawi potentially... They've used that long ball really well into Musamba in the goal, but there is always a danger of overconfidence. You can't just hoy a ball, the halfway down the court and hope for the best. Samuel's there brilliantly. Oh, unlucky
and actually,
for the Army.
Malawi, I'm sure they will want to keep discipline now.
Yeah.
Because they can't afford to do those passes or make those errors when they are playing England. So this is about practice for them at the end of the day for those matches. That was good pressure there from Army. And it's nice to see. I think that was the right call to bring Dee Bolokoro back out to goal defence, just where she's not as exposed
as the keeper. Yeah. But keep her on, because just for morale as well.
was an unfortunate error there by her.
Yeah, you almost have to, like we've said a lot, it's easy for us to say forget about the scoreline, but as long as you're playing your game and, you know, you're playing what up to your game plan, then, you know, that could be a success in itself.
Yeah, and we're not, it's not, Malawi aren't getting the ball and going 1-2 in to a shooting opportunity. We are applying, see straight away there, a good 3-over defence. We're applying pressure.
They're competing.
And delaying,
yes. Lovely by Dee. So it is 9 goals to the Army, 53 to Malawi. Dee Bolokoro there with a lovely interception.
Yeah, use the width.
Yes. Oh, little fall there from Chloe Merriam, but she's back up. Oh.
Those final execution of that pass, it just needs to be a bit more clinical. We need to be, again, looking for front options. Shooter offering square to the ball. If we've got that, if that defender is anywhere near a 50-50 ball, she's going to get it. The Malawi defence.
Absolutely. But yeah, Tamara Samuel's really fighting for every inch in that shooting circle.
Chloe has come on, and she is having a really strong game here. She's providing lots of front options for the Army. Having to reset right the way back. And see, those are the calls that Army aren't necessarily used to getting. In our previous games, we'd be expecting a contact to have been called there, but at this level, the umpires aren't calling it, and rightly so. It's contesting.
Yeah, because everyone wants a flowing game, don't they? I mean, you could argue that in a lot of sports. Too much whistle ruins a game.
Good shutdown of the second phase there.
So Masamba again for Malawi, and that puts them 55 up to the Army's 10.
Good choice there to use the backup option by Chloe again.
And Chloe almost doesn't need to look; she just knows that Dee's
through the middle, corner ball. Almost, you need to almost fake that first time pass. Let the defender overcommit.
Samuels again.
They're both trying to get off the top there, both goal attack and goal shooter.
Ooh, so close from Ellie.
But good for her for still having the confidence to actually, I've got the ball into a shooting opportunity, which is hard enough in itself at this level. I'm gonna put it up.
And it's gone straight to the other end, and there's another goal for Malawi. Another long ball and another stretch. So we've got Magic here, who's going to bring a few of the comments we've had from our Malawi audience. Ellie really holding her space there on the edge. Oh yeah, I mean, it is so tough in that circle.
Now they need a forward. Oh, lovely movement there from Ellie to provide that forward option at the front.
Lovely,
and a great execution
great finish.
of the shot. See there again, we've got all Army defence ball side there, which is causing a gap in the Malawi's attack, which is really impressive. Stand strong there, Chadders. Go on.
Oh,
yes.
Lovely Chadders.
Well deserved there.
Great recovery by Malawi, but it's Army ball. Deservedly so.
Good option from Sally there coming through. And Chloe there. Just a fumble of the ball, but she found the middle space, forward option. Lovely. Just unfortunate.
Too far.
Oh, I mean, that's just class, isn't it? That's world class.
Such a good recovery. It's like they practiced that. Chadders is doing really well. You know, she's trying to get that interception from behind, which is cunning, and it's just she's just fingertips away every time.
And with Chadders, her head will never go down.
Good.
Despite those balls going in, she knows what she's up against.
Yeah.
She will keep trying, and her head will not go down.
She said in the preview interview, she said, we know why they're here. We know we're a warm-up match, and, you know, we've just got to treat it as our own.
Millie's actually providing some really good options here in the attacking third.
Well seen.
Oh,
Marian's really seen into that goal brilliantly
Oh.
since she's come on.
This is where tomorrow you've got that first ball she received. Just look to
take it.
post and have a go.
Yeah.
Have some confidence.
Lovely up and in by Malawi, and they go to 59 goals, but the Army have broken the 10 barrier and they're on 11. As we bring it live here from Loughborough University. Of course, Loughborough Lightning play here, and they're well versed in high quality sport at this university, Anna.
This was my university as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
There we go.
I spent many
must be a good
times
netballer
playing
then.
and training here. Good, happy memories of this place.
Well, I came here and played lacrosse and actually beat Loughborough 20 odd years ago now, but there was one sport that they weren't the best at. So in my time, I'm sure that's changed by now, but the facilities here are incredible.
They are indeed. Very privileged to have been able to use them for my 3 years stay here.
So did purple look good on you then?
Oh yeah, of course.
Durham was purple as well, you see, so there was always that clash. Great limbs there from Sally Fisher, but a little predictably goes into...
and they're trying to lift there with...
okay.
Chadders there was trying to lift Dee up. I think it might be more useful the other way round, but...
It's probably like a last-minute decision. Yeah, a lot of high balls that, are going to get intercepted, but sometimes that's the only option.
It shouldn't be the only option,
No,
though.
you're right, it shouldn't.
We should always have that forward front option. Good take from Tamara. Put it up, Tamara. Keep your head on your player and defend.
One thing that's so impressive about Tamara is she's not the tallest, she's the shortest in that circle, and yet she's getting ball and space.
She's got brilliant elevation, and she is very good at finding the space.
Yeah.
Her prelim move is what's key for that. So
Okay.
she makes those prelim moves. Off the ball, she does the work.
Like a dodge, so that she,
we don't use that term anymore.
I'm so old
She
school.
overcommits the defender and then opens up her space, but she's doing her timing of that move is brilliant, because by the time the ball carrier is ready to release is when she's free.
Yeah.
Because she's already done the hard work.
I loved your face. We don't use that term anymore. Yeah. Showing my age, but I know what you meant. Great, so Ellie and Tamara both in, holding space, brilliant. Well done. Samuels, 13 then to the Army, 63 to Malawi.
Good shutdown there from Dee defensively on that goal attack. But unfortunately...
It's just unreal. The passes, the take, it's just unreal.
The strength of that goal shooter and that hold as well.
Yeah. You see
you can't
the pass.
describe it until you're up against it.
No, I would not want to be in D, or as actually Chadwick's coming off.
And it looks like
Amelia
Noelle is coming off as
Noelle's
well.
coming on. Okay.
Nice to see Tamara coming back out to goal attack, and young Mia in at goalkeeper. And this will be Amelia's debut as well.
Yes.
Brand new to Army
face.
Netball.
Ooh.
I believe she's currently an officer cadet. I'm not sure which.
Amelia is actually a
university.
Lance Bombardier. Hannah is a officer cadet. Is that right?
Apologies. That is Hannah that's
Okay.
taken to court. That's why. So
Okay.
Hannah is.
So Hannah is officer cadet,
Yeah.
and she's come in as
goal shooter.
Goal shooter. There you go.
So I'm excited to see how she plays.
That's Amelia that's come in at goalkeeper though?
Yeah, that's Mia. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, just too far this time from Malawi. So, Army ball on the back line.
Let's capitalise on this turn. Well, if we can.
Oh dear, it's about the third fall in this minute, but just to show you the physical level that it is.
Nice space there, Dee. They've shut down Chloe's drive there, but Millie finds the space out on the width. And lovely, Chloe
Chloe's
then
in,
gets
lovely.
the top. She's had some really good top
she's trying to do it off the post
Off
there,
the
wasn't
post,
she?
yeah.
Which we've seen
And
really...
if it had worked, it'd have been bloody brilliant.
Oh, amazing. Yeah, you see it quite a lot in, elite netball these days. And I've seen it tried at the level, and it's just so flair.
And perhaps, again, that's a case of the Army trying to match the flair of the Malawi team. And
well, do you know what? Why not? If it doesn't come off, doesn't mean you shouldn't try again.
True. In this environment, at this level, with the scoreline as it is, you're right. Why not? See how they shut down the first phase on a first option there on the centre pass with Tamara, but Millie then came over on the third second to find the space out wide, which is often what you practice as a goal attack, wing attack. Who's the first second option? Who's the third second option?
Okay. So yeah, this two very well drilled side, but obviously the international element obvious in the scoreline. 67 to Malawi, 13 to the Army.
It'd be nice to see the Army team, as Dee's shown us there, putting up a bit more pressure on that feed with the 3-foot arms over, because goal defence, wing defence are now finding that shooter quite easily. So our goal attacks, wing attacks need to push up and defend and apply that pressure to the feed. Everybody's fighting there for the front space, which is good to see that they're not pulling out and they're fighting. But that's where they need to do the pre-work.
Hannah there, luckily.
Oh, well done, Dee. Well chased.
Fought. Yeah, they're down one channel, but Hannah Hicks.
She's
desperate
trying
for the ball.
to find some space there, isn't she?
Lovely.
Oh, Chloe's fed the circle really nicely tonight.
And it's almost like she sees it before she receives the pass.
Yeah.
Which is, a real skill. And Dee's dropping right back from the centre pass to try and help in the circle there, but in that instance it didn't work.
We need to get nice use of the middle channel there. Great pop through there from Hannah. It's a good score on the board there for Hannah as well. Get her confidence up.
Absolutely.
Towards the end of this quarter. It'd be nice to see her stay on for a little bit longer as well in the next quarter.
Okay, so we are 70 goals to Malawi, to the Army's 15. I know I keep having to say it, but we're not really here for the score. We're here, to see what level these guys are at, and the Army having to push themselves to a level they potentially haven't done so before. Just before we go to a quick break, Magic's been through some of the comments coming from Malawi on our Facebook and YouTube site. Fair to say, a lot of armchair critics. This is a very young, inexperienced team. They're being rebuilt, which we already covered that on the Malawi front, and in places a little critical of the team selection, as Malawi is the #1 female sport. It is we've obviously got a lot of fans on there. The quad series is massive, and expectations are high for that for Malawi, playing of course South Africa, England and Uganda in that series coming up. So we're going to go for a little break. Do stay with us here for the final quarter of British Army up against Malawi.
We're approaching one of Ukraine's defensive lines. Hidden in this woodland is one of the brigade's most precious weapons, a British Challenger 2 tank.
There are things you need to know about the Arctic.
We have to recognise that there are countries that actively wish us harm.
This is vital training to ensure they can deploy these battle-changing assets effectively.
We'll be dotting around the country, going to air shows, meeting the public, and hopefully inspiring people like I was inspired as a 5-year-old.
It was homecoming time for their loved ones on board HMS Duncan, and they were here to see them safely into port.
So glad to be home.
Well, welcome back to Loughborough University for the final quarter of British Army up against Malawi. And I know you've just witnessed a Maribel preview here on BFBS Forces News YouTube. And it's hard to believe that in 2 days' time, I'll be heading out there myself to cover the Inter-Services Snow Sports Championships. Anna Mulderig, who is our newest member of staff, will be in my suitcase, with the sounds of things. She's got a BFBS sport badge, and now she wants a job.
I want a hat as well.
Okay, I might have to give her a hat. But Anna, listen, it is demoralising when you look at the scoreline, and there have been some critics on our YouTube channel and on Facebook saying potentially the Army are not a strong enough opposition. But you know what? This was set up. And Malawi wanted Army as the opposition, and, you know, that is what's been provided. It's brilliant for the Army, and even if Malawi are running away with its scoreline, I'm sure they'll come off this and have learnt something from it, you know, where they can't be complacent when it comes to this quad series that they're in.
And this is more than just a game of netball here as well. This is relationship building and forming, and there are members of the embassy come here to support the Malawi team. And it's a great opportunity for the Army women that are out there as well.
Yeah, good engagement.
And very much a training match for the Malawi team.
Of course it is, and they knew that. No Army player came into this assuming, you know, this was one for the record books or anything like that. So, unfortunately, Han Hicks not quite seeing the ball coming in.
But I know that the Army shouldn't be disappointed with this scoreline. Having spoken to the girls just before the match, they were aiming for 8 shooting opportunities per quarter. The fact that they've got average 5 per quarter goals means that they've more than likely achieved that goal.
Absolutely. Well, that's good that they had a plan. Yeah, you should never sniff. I mean, Malawi, I'm sure, had other opportunities to play other teams, and you know, they've ended up with the Army. It's a great event.
And hopefully they feel well hosted by ourselves as well here today.
It's the bigger picture, isn't it, that we're looking at here. As the Army slipped 2 more goals behind Marion to Bolokoro. And Dee having to behave herself now that she's received a caution.
We're just in our attack-wise, we're just playing a very narrow game, which is what the Malawi want us to do.
Yeah.
But we just need to somebody on the court needs to recognise that, take control, get the width to either create something for somebody else or to then punch back in and draw defenders. But at the minute we are just letting the defence keep us in the middle where they want us to be. Forward, good Millie. Good decision. That ball's just not going to go over that goalkeeper, unfortunately. And the Hannah there, young and new player, she just needs to hold a little bit stronger there for a little bit longer. She's moving too quickly. Before the ball's even released almost, she's moving, which allows that goalkeeper to close down that space and then be able to go up for the ball.
I mean, you can't rely on a game that you're used to. You know, need to adapt against an opposition like this.
Yeah, I mean, this will be a great experience for the young player as well, and a really good confidence boost ahead of her first ever Inter-Services.
Yeah, I mean, as an officer cadet, I mean, she's brand new, isn't she?
Yeah, this is her very first season.
Malawi then Yeah, Malawi then in the ascendancy, now 77-15. And it's their centre pass. And, you know, great from D, lovely. Right, composure, Army.
Still look forward first, see what's on offer.
Samuels then trying to find Hicks.
Again, Hannah, she's just moving that split second too soon. She's trying to hold front, and actually she just needs to use that backspace a little bit more to her advantage to then offer back first, overcommit the defender, and then punch through and give the forward option.
So we've got Sam James who's come on as wing defence there with the French plats.
I did those plats, by the way.
Oh, they are beautiful, Anna.
Thank you very much.
And you've done everything for the team today.
I know!
And got yourself a job in the process. Amazing. Malawi then with another opportunity. And they are 78 goals to the good, to 15 from the Army. Marion in the centre. James
that's
shouting.
too late there. Again, that second
She was there
ball.
a lot earlier, yeah.
It needed to be a first, second ball.
Yes. Millie Price again, as you said.
So it's
using the space a lot better.
And what our shooters did there, again, was that positional switch. Tamara's got a much stronger hold, although shorter, she's got that stronger hold and that timing.
And the elevation that you mentioned as well, yeah.
And that worked really nicely for them.
That was fantastic from Malawi goal shooter, but...
I was about to say, isn't everything she does fantastic?
Yeah.
But she did but she had a rare miss then.
She must have heard you.
She must have. Good. Chloe again providing that forward easy option, but see how narrow we are now. But just Chloe's now good. Chloe, so she's
giving a bit wide, but
poor pass there.
Yeah,
unfortunately that didn't quite meet her.
Sacrilegious in netball to not pass the ball ahead of the player, isn't it?
It is an awkward one when it's going from the top, but you've really got to put that ball right in the pocket,
drop it,
to protect the space from the defender.
Good hands from Merrin again. Yeah, another thing, Malawi are really good, not giving up on that sort of interception. They don't pull themselves in, and they'll, you know, in that instance, got called up for contact. But it's always worth trying, isn't it?
Absolutely. But equally, what Tamara is very good at is almost playing on those contacts. So she's not going to back out of that challenge. She's going to keep going for ball.
Yeah.
And then she gets a contact call.
Right.
Brilliant.
Okay. So you're using your body to sort of make the contact in a way.
She's not causing the contact, but she's not, again, there, she's not backing out.
Yeah.
Whereas some of the less experienced, not quite as physically strong players are backing out of that challenge.
Got you. Every day's a school day on BFBS.
Oh, Millie's done well there to find the space on the 2-on-1.
And there we go. That was
got the width
in the pocket.
Stand up.
Nice. Oh, unlucky. I think Hannah didn't think that was for her, but it would have been lovely. It dropped in. Yeah, well seen.
Yeah, Mia's gone hunting a little bit too early there, but
she nearly got back.
She's gone for it.
I tell you what, the Malawi centre.
Oh, D. Bolakoro.
Wow. I missed it, didn't I? I looked down exactly the wrong time.
That was a great block of a shot from D.
The Malawi centre has had not a quiet game. She's just been constantly there, almost so good that you just sort of don't notice.
Well, this is what when I said earlier about the centres, that's the job of the centre, in my opinion.
Yeah, not a needy centre, just, you know, supportive, as you say. There are needy centres, though.
Oh, I honestly, I can be a really needy centre. I've had to have that. It's taken years to coach that out of me.
Should have coached yourself.
Chloe Merrier then for the Army. Yeah, quite a few changes just happened then. So they have put Dee into the shooting circle. She's done well to hang on to that.
Brilliant.
Rachel's come back onto wing attack, and Ellie Nwali back into the goal attack position, with Sally Fisher now going into the defensive circle at goal defence.
Wow.
She's a talented player, is Sally.
Yeah, starts at centre. She's getting more and more defensive. That's brilliant.
She can hold her own in the defensive circle. It would be nice to see Chadwick take to court again for me in that goalkeeper position.
Yeah.
But equally, it might just be they want to give Mira more of a run out.
Mm-hmm. And we've often seen the Nwali and Dee Bolokoro combination in the shooting circle.
It's like our ace card at Inter-Services.
Yeah, I know. It's
all going wrong.
Comes in the last quarter.
Right, this is what's going to happen.
Who have we got?
I mean, it's so hard to apply defensive pressure for the Army defence there. You end up just chasing, and that's not what we want. We want to be delaying, dictating, putting that attacker in a position where we are ball side as the defender. But they're so quick and so clinical that we just aren't able to do that.
And you get, I mean, they say they're in a building phase, Malawi, but they're playing like a team that know where every player is, depending on who's coming on. And that's just a sign of a team that plays together a lot, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's probably quite difficult to gauge
where they're at against.
Yeah. Because we aren't the competition that they need. Clearly, we're not international players. But equally, like you said, yeah, they are a well-drilled, highly talented team that just know where each other are going to be and where they want the ball.
Mia, they're being called up for contact, but wow, they are both being called up for contact. But it's effort. They're just still putting so much effort in.
Yeah. And that's what you'll always get with the Army team. They won't give up. They'll bring each other up and keep striving for success in whatever success looked like. Today's success was never going to look like a win.
No.
Oh, that ball, you've really got to lift that ball because she can take it. I think Ellie was very tempted to play herself in using the post there. I could see the thought process in her.
Yeah. Play safe, Marian's there.
Yeah.
And another goal for the Army, and they've reached 20.
And that's brilliant from the Army team.
Yeah,
they should be very pleased.
Well, they've
with
stepped it up in this quarter, haven't they? Still got 5 minutes to play.
Yeah, you're right.
And they've scored 5 already, so maybe if we go to 8 quarters, No, I wouldn't ask that of anyone. We've all got homes to go to.
Oh, yes, brilliant. Great to see Chadwick taken to court again.
There she is. Yeah, she'll want to have the challenge of Masamba again in that goal.
Oh. Right decision, just wrong execution.
Yeah, and you saw the high five between the two of them there. So
yeah, and that's what I mean. These girls, they'll always support each other.
Yeah.
They'll always pick each other up. Chad is there just getting called because she's not got her arms up, but she's not 3 foot, and you've got to get that 3 foot as soon as the player's got the ball in her hands.
Yeah, you can't put your arms up first, can you?
Well, no. So her arms weren't up.
Okay.
But the ball carrier is looking to make a pass, and she's still within the 3 foot, intruding her space, so she's still getting the obstruction pulled.
So quick, isn't it? Chadders. She's just fingertips away.
I know. That just wasn't going to go through there.
No. So that's Rachel Rogers back on at wing defence.
And I think she's been out there for 2 quarters now.
Yes.
At this level, I think perhaps a little bit of tiredness starting to show in her decision making, where she was such a safe pair of hands earlier. We're starting to see a couple of those errors coming in, which perhaps, like we said, maybe a bit of a tactical change. 2 minutes off, have a breather.
Right.
right, go again.
Well, only 3 minutes remaining here in Loughborough, and Fisher's coming off. And that's Samuel's, oh no.
It's Mia.
Mia back on, sorry.
Yeah, just out into the goal defence position this time. Oh, that was a lucky ball to actually meet the target. So physical there between goalkeeper, goal shooter. Ellie sinks the shot, and that's great up to 21 with 2 minutes to go. Let's see if we can get another couple on the board. Well, we might not get a couple. Maybe one if we're lucky.
I don't know, be positive.
Sorry.
Come on.
Right, our centre, we've got this. 1-2 and in. Let's go.
On our centres, as long as we can score on the Army centres.
Oh, that was a lovely little bit of play from Ellie there. She set up a screen nice and quickly, saw what the defence were trying to do to allow Rachel to come through cleanly. Unfortunately, again, final execution of the pass just hasn't quite landed.
Just capitalising on the space.
Brilliant shooting.
Yeah, goal shooter was down, so the goal attack just plonks it in. Lovely from Malawi. Having a bit of fun now.
Okay, this one, Army.
So, Marion.
Quick centre pass taken from her.
Yeah, talk about that screen, that worked.
Look in. Good.
A bit earlier, and it could have been, but Dee's in there.
Oh yes, Dee!
We shall match your flair, Malawi. We shall match it. Lovely play there from the Army, and possibly they're having a bit of fun now as well.
And that when Dee gets put into the attacking end, she loves it. She thrives in there, almost being taken out of her. She's been released from defence and thrown into attack, and she thrives off it.
Yeah, give me a bit of creation.
I mean, look at her go there.
Lovely. There's your 2, Anna. There's your 2. Excellent.
And that's 2 on the bounce. Brilliant.
In the remaining 50 seconds there in Loughborough, it is 95-23. Now 96.
Come on, Army.
23.
Let's get another goal.
If the Army can finish this game, Chloe, too quick.
And that's the thing with Malawi, you can't afford to do the same thing twice. It worked the first time, that quick 1 second release to Rachel at wing attack. It ain't going to work again.
And also, I think the Army getting a little bit carried away in the moment, and everyone trying to get this last goal in. I think Malawi want to get to
100.
Three figures, but it's Army ball. They've got 10 seconds left.
Army
sideline. Hoy it in.
Somebody get in.
Go on, Dee. One more.
Up in it.
One more.
Oh, it's a penalty. Come on, Noelle.
Oh, no, have they called it? Or
The
they
poor
going?
girl, I wouldn't like to be in her position right now.
Come on, Ellie Noelle. She can do it.
Rise to the occasion.
One for the win.
And
well
she does.
done, Army. So we finish the game here, all in good spirits at Loughborough. It is 98. The Army denied Malawi getting to a century, and they scored 24 of their own. Definitely a huge deficit, potentially a step too far for the Army, but I think the crowds enjoyed it. I think the Army will benefit. I really hope Malawi feel that they were worthy opponents, and well, it's been a good night, Anna, but yeah, a lot to learn. But you know, it was a challenge presented to them, and they turned up and they fought all the way to the end.
And they will be very proud of those 24 goals that they managed to convert.
Well, I'll tell you what, this is this just shows you the level that international netball is at. We know that we've got internationals in the Army side. We know we've got Super League players, but Malawi have really come out and shone here today. They are winners, 98-24. Any last words from you, Anna, as we head into services? Just in the health of Army netball, and you know, can they do it again this year?
Well, so I've obviously been coaching the Masters, so I haven't. This is the first time I've actually seen the Army team, and based on that performance, absolutely we can bring it again. Very excited to see what comes in March.
Well, they both teams in a huddle as we finish this game here, and we're going to go offline now, and just leave you with a few things that are coming up in in the world of BFBS sport, we will of course be congregating in Portsmouth for the Inter-Services Netball in March. That is the first week of March, so do join us then. We love showing netball. It's such a dynamic game here on BFBS, and congratulations to both sides. And just a little look now at what's coming up on BFBS Sport over the next couple of weeks. Thank you and goodbye.
The header is in the net. That's a goal. Towards the back post, and he's headed across the goal and in. Takes it, shot, and it's a good save. And the follow-up. Chance for the Army to finish it off, and he has done. Takes it, scores. Header goes in, and into the back of the net. It's a goal, John.